We're working on a 2-speed powerglide, or what's left of it. This thing is a direct drive out of a Monte Carlo 350 pushing 400 horsepower. It's a dirt track racer, and during a race, it exploded. And that's kind of an understatement. This is what's left of it besides the internals we already have in a new case. And in this video, we're going to be showing you everything we did to make this thing work again the same as before. And if you want to make your own dirt track powerglide transmission, we're going to show you the modifications that's necessary to do so. Buckle up, folks. We're about to get dirty. So if you didn't know, a powerglide transmission is one of the first automatic transmissions available by GM. It came out in the 1950s. It's a 2-speed and it's built to handle a lot of power. I mean, a whole lot of power. People build these things for drag racing applications and different racing applications because they can handle well above 1,000 horsepower when built properly. Now, this one was built by some backyard race car driver up in Northern Virginia, and I have no idea how he designed this thing to work, and it doesn't really work like a traditional automatic. And the valve body is modified so that you don't have to push start the vehicle. You could start it up, have it in neutral, and then pull a clutch lever which turns on the forward band and gets the car to move. After that, you could shift up in the second gear where you got direct drive and you could just rip and run as long as the transmission stays intact. And obviously, this one didn't. So this has to be the most destroyed transmission I've ever seen in a very long time. You can kind of see how it went together at one point, but everything just kind of exited the case, and it's kind of strange because there wasn't very much internal damage on this thing. So technically I got two transmissions apart back here. Here's the Planet out of the race transmission. This is a different design than the original Powerglide Planetary, the different output shaft, and it's all intact. Everything's intact. Nothing seemed like it got destroyed, so we're thinking maybe something external, maybe the drive shaft came loose and hit something. You can see it got beat up a little bit right there. I'm not sure. Regardless, we got a brand new case here to put together. This thing was sitting outside for some time. We got a valve body here we got to do some modifications to. We're going to see if we can get those done. It's also a direct drive, so there's no torque converter that we have to worry about. But there is some modifications on the valve body and a servo that controls a hydraulic clutch, aka just a different controller for your forward band here on the Powerglide. This is a lever that goes to the inside of the vehicle. There's a valve that sends pressure to this that turns the band on that creates a forward engagement. So this thing's sitting in drive or manual one. You pull the other lever, the car will start to move because this forward band will come on. So that's it, guys. We're gonna start stacking this thing up. Next, we got this beautiful brass hub, and I believe that's an upgraded part. Oh, that is not good. Oh man. Got a broken pump gear, which isn't a huge deal because we got another pump right here out of our core transmission. As long as everything's the same, it should be okay. But it does give us a little more insight on what may have happened here. So we got a new pump here, the one that has a little rust spot in it we're not going to use. But an issue that happened when this thing exploded was this direct drive hub here got a little torn up where the bushing rides. So we're going to try to sand that out so it'll ride smooth in this bushing here. Now stacking this thing up is pretty simple. You just have a bearing in the bottom of the case, a low reverse clutch with piston, the rear Planet and output shaft, the second gear or direct clutch, the forward band, our little clutch doohickey that we got to put on, and then our pump. And that's pretty much it, besides this low reverse clutch. That goes in, and then this random aluminum spacer goes in. And I believe that's just to reduce weight and not put so much pressure on this clutch back here. And then that goes in, and then we just stack up regular 4-clutch system here. So that big aluminum piece is going to act like one big clutch when this thing is applied, and we already air checked it, so we know that it works. In the low reverse clutch, the person that originally built this transmission put some weird hub. It kind of looks like a slider off a manual transmission, a big one. But it actually fits right around their low reverse hub perfectly, just like a clutch. And according to the person that originally built this transmission, this is for lighter weight in the rear of the transmission. And taking that the original one looked like it exploded right at this low reverse clutch, maybe that's what he was trying to prevent. Anyhow, we're going to stack it up exactly how he had it, removing some low reverse clutches, apparently to reduce weight in the rear end of the transmission. If you know what this is about, please comment below and let me know why this is done. Otherwise, I'm just putting this thing back together the way it came apart. That way I'm positive it'll work right once he gets it back in the car. So here's the hardest part about this whole process. We got to modify a valve body so it looks like this. So there's one cut there that we're going to have to do on that little hole right there. Then there's a purposely done crossover bleed between these two circuits right here that we got to cut, and then another one right there. Then some of these valves may be a little different than the ones that originally come in these valve bodies. So we're going to take all the valves out of this thing and put them in this one exactly how they are. Now it's worth noting I've already done a practice round on one of these other valve bodies that I have. A couple extras laying around. This one's a little nasty, so I practiced on it first. And now we get to do the real thing. I think we've done a pretty good job so far. Hopefully it goes well. All right, the last hole we got to drill is this one on the side here. And it goes right in the side, right about right there. Pretty identical. All right, we got two identical pieces of metal. All right, this valve body sits down here. That should be it. Once we got it all back together, pretty much the way it came apart out of the exploded one, we're ready to torque this thing down and get it back on the dirt track. But first, it's got to go back in the car, which I do not have. Now, this thing goes in a Monte Carlo, supposedly pushing around 400 to 500 horsepower. Now, this car right here is just bare bones. I mean, the bare minimum that you need for a car is what's in this race car. No windshield, no keys, just a flip switch to turn it on, a big old 350 engine, powerglide transmission, and a 9-inch Ford differential in the rear. All that to drift around a dirt track at 80 miles an hour for a whole lot of fun. We put my skills truly to the test in this video, and hopefully everything works out for my buddy who races dirt tracks. And once we get this thing in the car and get it running, I'll show you how it actually works in a nice short video. Until then, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I'm posting weekly content about the day-to-day things that I do. You can also hit me up on Patreon, where I try to post behind-the-scenes content whenever I get a chance. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions about this or any other car projects, feel free to email me at justcallmeeddie1@gmail.com, and I'll help you out as much as I can. And whatever you do, however you do it, make sure you work hard, make sure you play hard, and most importantly, make sure you stay dirty. You can just call me Eddie.